Good morning, children. This is video 5, wherein we learn past continuous tense. And in the previous video 4, we had covered simple past tense. So let's get started. Sentences of past continuous tense ask questions like, what were you doing? So when you ask this question, and all the answers that you get for this question will be of past continuous tense. Let us understand with a few examples. I was watching TV when she called. So when somebody called, this action was going on. What? Was watching. She was running when she saw the bear. So running, she continued to run in the past tense after she had seen the bear. They were having a party last Sunday. So the party would definitely last for hours. Then Mr. Brown was checking Terry's homework. The bell rang. So the homework checking went on for a long time and it was interrupted by a single action, that is the bell rang. Were you listening while he was talking? So here it's a sentence containing two continuous past continuous actions taking place at the same time. So such actions are called as parallel actions. Now talking about the timeline, as you can see, the action started in the past and this is the point of reference in time, that at this point of time also the action continued and finished in the past also. So past continuous includes actions which began in the past, they were going on at a point in time in the past, and they ended also in the past. Past continuous tense is used to describe an ongoing action, of course, in the past. Now, the structure you already know. When the subject is singular, it is followed by was and then V4, ing form of the verb plus rest of the sentence. If the subject is plural, then we should use were plus ing form of the verb, that is V4, plus rest of the sentence. Now, when should we use past continuous tense? To show interrupted actions in the past, to show a specific time as an interruption, to talk about parallel actions or actions which were repeated, of course, in the past tense. See, children, this is the timeline of parallel actions, two actions going on side by side. Then these are a few verbs in their ing form. Please observe the changes in the spelling. For time expressions, these are the words that are used as time expressions in past continuous: when and while, always, constantly, at that time, of course, in the past, then in those days, all day, all evening, for hours, etc. etc. So, this you will understand better in the next slide. I have included examples for time expressions and to understand the usage of past continuous. We use past continuous tense to show interrupted actions in the past. For example, I was watching TV when she called. So this is the point of reference in time, children. So the moment when somebody called, I was watching television. So this is the past continuous tense. While we were having the picnic, were having the picnic is past continuous and it was interrupted by rain. It started to rain. To show specific time as an interruption, the example is last night at 6 p.m. I was eating my dinner. So I started eating a little before 6 p.m. and at 6 p.m. also the action was going on. Then to talk about two parallel actions going on side by side. While the woman was talking on the phone, the man was sitting. So talking over the phone and sitting on the chair, these are two parallel actions that were going side by side in the past. I was studying while he was making dinner. So these two actions again going side by side, so they are parallel actions. To talk about repeated actions, they were always fighting. Always is an adverb of frequency. So in the past, this was an action that was repeated. Then also to start a story. Sometimes it's a good way of choosing past continuous to start a story, to give it a good beginning. The sun was shining, the birds were singing. Now moving on to the time expressions, the different time expressions are always. The example is, I always visited my grandparents in my summer holidays when I was a kid. So this is definitely an indication that when I was a kid in the past tense, this was a regular habit which was repeated. Visiting the grandparents was repeated very often. Then Lisa and her sister were visiting us last week. Last week is a time expression, and visiting, when someone visits, the visit lasts for hours. It is not for a moment. Then the third example, I was cleaning my house all day yesterday. So the yesterday, this cleaning action went on for the entire day. That is why it's better to choose past continuous tense for such actions. Now, this is very important, children, understanding the difference between use of while and when. When is often followed by simple past because when is often used to talk about a point in time. It is not used to talk about an ongoing action or continuous actions. And while is often followed by past continuous tense because while talks about an action which was going on at that point in time. Now, to change an affirmative sentence into negative sentence, we require helping verb to add not after it. So as you can see, we already have two helping verbs, was and were, in past continuous tense. So it is very, very simple. Just add the negative word after helping verb. The helping verbs in these sentences are was, were, 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 and we've simply added the negative word not after it. So we have changed the affirmative sentences into negative just by simply inserting not after the helping verb. We were not writing a letter. Now, interrogative sentences, again, these are yes no type of question. I will just write Y for yes and N for no. To write yes no type of interrogative sentences, we will simply begin the sentence with helping verbs, and the two helping verbs are was and were, and we'll end the sentences with a question mark. So here the question marks are put up. So very, very simple to change affirmative sentences into negative sentence. Now this is an important piece of information, children. Stative verbs. These are the verbs which are non-action verbs. They do not represent any actions, and the list is here. Want, like, love, hate, hear, need, see, believe, understand, have, forget, remember. You cannot perform any action for these verbs. So they are called as stative. Stative means they are stationary. They have no action. So here in towards the left hand side, I have included a few sentences which shows right usage, and towards your right I have listed wrong usage of these verbs. For example, I liked Rome, the correct usage. She had a headache, correct usage. I knew the answer, correct usage. Now wrong usage is I was liking Rome. You should never and ever you should avoid using liking. She was having a headache. Having is the incorrect use, and I was knowing the answer is also incorrect use of no. So children, this was all about past continuous tense, and in the next video 6, we will learn past perfect continuous. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.